Greetings folks, in this video I'm going to have a closer look at the setup and INAV configuration of the ATOMRC Beluga. You might notice my wing knobs have come off. They lasted all of 2 landings in my rough grass, so I can glue them back on if I want to, but at the moment I'll just leave them off. So this is where I've put my video transmitter. That's Caddx HD video transmitter and camera. That spot there was right over the top of where the GPS was. So I've popped the GPS up in here. I've 3D printed up a mount. They actually provide a plywood mount that will fit into this space here, and underneath you have this very convenient double strip of plywood that you can screw into. There's a 4S3300 LiPo, and that fits to the bulkhead there, and I have an extra 70 gram of lead in the nose just to balance it properly. You could easily fit bigger batteries in. You could fit 2 of them. Big blocks of 21700 lithium ions if you want as well. Lots of options for batteries. We'll flip him over. Here's the flight control board underneath. You can see it is mounted upside down and facing the wrong way. The arrow is facing towards the back there, so you have to make those appropriate selections in INAV. I'll show you that in a minute. It comes with these wiring looms already connected to the flight control board. But this one here goes out to each wing and includes the ESC, the ailerons and the flaps and the landing gear. If you connect that, they sort of go out to connectors in the fuselage there and there. And this is the tail wiring loom, which goes out to a connector right about here. And that means that you can just undo these bolts, take the wings off, take the tail off, and you don't have to undo any of this wiring. It all sort of connects at these points here. This is the ATOMRC F405 NAVI Deluxe board. It has a little switch and a little onboard quiet buzzer here, so you can turn that off there, or you've got the loud buzzer on the USB board. Up at this end here we have UART2 for receiver connection, also a LED connection there for programmed LEDs. Also have more UARTs here. There's a airspeed sensor connection there. Analog video and camera connections there. That's the USB board there. GPS and compass over this side, and HD FPV there. Now the PWM connections. The first set of pins here is for S-Bus. We're not using S-Bus, so we don't need that. Second 2 are the motors, and you can see with this wiring loom they've got both motor signals on a Y lead, so that's just using the S1 connection, S2 for the other motor if you want to do it that way. Then we've got the tail connections in here, so that's elevator. Then we've got the aileron connections, ailerons on a Y lead as well. Rudder connection there, and flaps in here. Landing gear will be connected to the next set of pins here, and the steering servo to the next set of pins beside that. So we have flaps, gear and steering on S6, S7 and S8. And then in INAV all I did was assign channels 9, 10 and 11 to these 3 sets of pins here, and I've done all the flaps and gears set up in the radio. Now for the radio setup, this is channels 1 to 8. This is the Radiomaster GX12, by the way. Normal controls on channels 1 to 4. I have arming on channel 5. Acro, angle and manual on channel 6, and cruise and loiter on channel 7, and return to home on channel 8. Go to the next bank here. I have flaps on channel 9,
flaps 1, flaps 2,
with a slow motion as well so they don't slam down too quickly. And I have gear on channel 10.
Gear down, gear up, gear down.
And I have steering when the gear is down. You can see I can steer there on channel, what's that, 9, 10, channel 11.
Gear up.
When the gear is up, the steering isn't working. But the rudder still is working. So if we go to the model, go over to the mixers, down to channel 9. I'm using these 3 buttons here just as a 3-position switch, so just Just imagine that's any 3-position switch on the radio. It just happens to be called Group 1.
Flaps 1,
And let's edit, have a look at that one. Switch is called group 1, that's just these three here. And I've also dialed in some slow, so that's 2 seconds of slow up and 2 seconds of slow down. So that gives you that slow action of the flaps.
Flaps 1, flaps 2.
And I've got the audio readouts as well to
Flaps up.
tell me what's happening. Now for the gear on channel 10, I have, that's logical switch 3. Just imagine that is any 2-position switch. I just wanted to use the momentary switch on the top there, so I had to use some logical trickery to make that from a momentary to a push on, push off.
Gear down.
Push of the button makes the gear go down.
Gear up.
Another push and the gear goes up. And number 11 is the steering servo. So the source is the rudder stick there, but I also have a switch to activate that mix, so it only works when the gear is down basically. There's my gear switch there, whatever you choose. Could be a different 2-position switch of course, but this is the INAV setup as it came, INAV 7.1.1. Calibration was already done. Here's the mixer, and only one motor slot, so they've got both motors on a Y lead into S1 on the board. And we have stabilised pitch or elevator, ailerons on a Y lead, and rudder into S3, S4 and S5. Now they have stabilised yaw on 4. I guess that's meant to be the steering servo. And channel 9, 11 and 12 on S7, S8 and S9 on the board. I don't really know what they're intending there, but I'll do my own setup anyway. PID tuning was a little bit odd. It was sort of a very old set of PIDs, I thought. If we look at rates in Expo, they're all up at 200, and Expo is at 70%, which is not what we use these days. Not what I use anyway. And the PIDs remind me of old INAV 6 or something like that. I'm not too sure, but I reset all of them anyway. And in mechanics, there's no fixed wing level trim entered there, and I thought we did need some, so I would probably put 3 degrees there to start off with. Advanced tuning, there were some things we needed to look at here. Cruise throttle 1370, that's probably good for 6S, but I was using 4S, so I bumped it up to 1400. Moving down, and return to home altitude is set at 10 meters, and always land after return to home. So they're scary settings for me. I changed mine to 50 meters and never land after return to home. They're more appropriate settings for me, I think. Modes, let's hide the unused ones. And these are pretty much exactly the same modes and channels that I use on mine. Apart from this angle and manual on channel 6, they haven't got any option for acro. So you can choose from manual to angle. You can never choose acro. So with my setups, I have it like this. So that at least in one position, you can select acro, because I spend a lot of time flying in acro. Either acro or cruise are my most common flight modes, really. Alignment tool, here we go. The board is mounted upside down and facing backwards, and this is where we make those choices here. They have actually done that. You can see the red arrows pointing towards the back of the plane. That is sort of standard upright mounting of the board, but it is mounted facing the back and upside down, so that takes care of that. And the ESCs have started beeping, so we'll get out of there. But anyway, it shows that the OSD isn't set up. You need to do your own selections here. Mine was avatar, and put your elements wherever you want to. And that's pretty much it. So I'll go and show you how I set it up now. I flashed it to 7.1.2 and selected airplane with the tail as the default. And the mixer, didn't change the motor or the elevator, aileron and rudder connections, but I changed servo 4, 5 and 6 to channel 9, 10 and 11, and servo 4, 5 and 6 plug into S6, S7 and S8 on the board. And PID tuning, I just left it as default. These days those PIDs are pretty good for most planes. Default rates, expo down to 30 instead of 70. And I put 3 degrees into the fixed wing level trim. And in advanced tuning, cruise throttle to 1400 for 4S. And RTH altitude 50 meters and never land after return to home. In my modes, I have arming on channel 5, and I have acro, angle and manual on channel 6. See, that is acro there, angle and manual. Always got to have an acro selection, I believe. Made sure the board alignment was correct, minus 180 for roll and minus 180 for yaw, and put my own OSD elements on the screen, choosing avatar and my standard avatar OSD. Okay, that's about it for the INAV setup, and in the next video I'll demonstrate the panning camera and how to set that up in INAV and the radio. If you haven't already, go and have a look at the previous video where I take the plane out for a fly and do the review. And don't forget to read the description, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.